Here is Pittsburgh this Monday night, and they hold terrible towels, and the word terrible is being tossed around in the concourses for how the Steelers' offense has looked for the second straight week. Back on Monday Night Football, Tony Kornheiser, Ron Jaworski, Mike Tirico, Susie Colbert down the sideline. Okay, if you're writing the column, what are you banging out here?
Here's the column. Half? You're starting with, have we overrated the Pittsburgh Steelers? 46 total yards in the first half. They're being beaten by a rookie quarterback who heretofore had not had a single touchdown pass. They have no particular offensive weapons, and they appear to be getting manhandled. They can't keep their quarterback upright. We think of them as an elite team, and if you watch just this game, you'd think maybe we have overrated them, Jones.
I believe Mike Tomlin goes to Bruce Arians, the offensive coordinator, says, give me your 12 best plays, your dirty dozen. Let's run them. Let's make it simple.
One touchdown last 11 quarters for the Steelers, who get a kick return for the first time tonight with Moreeeee Moore going to the 22-yard line. Susie Colbert spoke to Mike Tomlin at half. Suze?
Yeah, well, he said the tone in the locker room, and I don't know if I can say this on TV, but he said his guys were pissed off that this is not the way they play Steeler football. And Tony mentioned about being manhandled, but that's not what Tomlin said is bothering him most and his players. They feel like they're losing this game from the neck up. Not being out-physicaled out there, that's what's really making them angry.
Well, they had an uptight locker room a bit at half last week, Philadelphia. That was a half-dozen sacks in the second quarter. Only a 10-point game, but they need to establish some offense. They put Sean McHugh, the tight end back there at fullback, to lead for Rashard Mendenhall. So kind of line up and show them what you got. The problem is, that's lunch for these guys. They love that.
You know, they came out, it's a mano-a-mano running game. That's what it's going to be. We're going belly to belly, and we're going to play football. Ray Lewis loves that kind of game. He filled the gap and made the play.
And we started with this at the beginning of the game.
Excuse me, Tony. Mendenhall coming out with his shoulder down. His arm down. Looks like a possible shoulder injury.
Yep. Behind Mendenhall, you got Moreeeee Moore and Carey Davis. Remember, Willie Parker, sprained knee, out this weekend, perhaps next for Pittsburgh. Roethlisberger, quick throw and a big hit on Heath Miller, delivered by Jarrett Johnson. Good job to hang on by Miller. And Mendenhall sits next to Parker on the bench.
Well, Ben's got to get the tight end, Heath Miller, involved in the game. Jarrett Johnson says, yeah, get him involved. I'm going to make him pay the price. When throwing to Heath Miller, who's an outstanding tight end, the quarterback rating is 128.3. You need to target Heath Miller, especially against this high percentage blitz team that the Ravens run.
3rd and a yard out of the gun in the spread. Oh, it was timed very well. Coming up the middle by Bart Scott. They got rid of it to Davis. They tackle him. The ball comes out. It is last possessed inbounds by the Steelers, so it will be their ball. Let's see where it went out of bounds. Spot is at the 31, which should be shy of the first down. It'll be 4th down.
You looked askance at the fact that they were out of a shotgun, because Steeler football for years and years and years has been power running. You line up 3rd and 1, you hand the ball to a back, you make 5 yards. Yeah. They've done that for 40 years.
31, you want to establish your manhood, you go to the shotgun formation. It's just, not typical Steeler football.
No, it isn't.
Oh, almost getting to Mitch Berger's punt. They say Berger flopped. No flag. Yamon Figures in the 32. Spun like a top and gains a yard on the return. Tackled by Matt Spaeth. Antoine Barnes was going in. Fans are booing the official, saying, I can't believe there was no call. The reality is that offense, last 6 possessions, 0 first downs.
NASN's coverage of the NFL continues with a live triple header. First up, the Super Bowl champion Giants host the Seahawks. Then it's Cincinnati at Dallas. And finally, the Steelers pay a visit to Jacksonville. A live NFL triple header. Coverage starts with NFL Countdown this Sunday only on NASN.
live commentary, news and stats, scrum.com. Instant rugby, anywhere. ESPN 360. Whenever you're online, you're at the game.
The stage is set for the opening weekend of a new NHL season. And this year, the stars are gathering for the Bridgestone NHL Premier 2008 events in the great cities of Prague and Stockholm. Catch all the excitement live this weekend only on NASN.
The Allegheny, the Monongahela, formerly Ohio, downtown Pittsburgh. A terrific skyline, too. Rugged and tough. And a little uptight. Their team's down 10. Willis McGahee hurt in the first half. He's out. Mark Clayton takes the reverse. Loss of a half yard. Bryant McFadden made the tackle. If you're just tuning in, big first half, first round pick, Joe Flacco out of Delaware.
Boy, does a really nice job of beating Troy Polamalu with his arm strength on the dig route. And what an excellent throw to Derek Mason on the outside. Patience and poise in the pocket. Gets the check down to LeRon McClain. And I love this one. Gets the ball out of his hand quickly for the touchdown.
Give me a first half grade on what you saw Flacco.
A.
32 to go up top. And throwing that out, showing that strong arm formation incomplete. Ike Taylor with the coverage. Again, Flacco has played in this stadium. He's from the South Jersey, just outside of Philly, Audubon, New Jersey, and then came to the University of Pittsburgh. At the time, Walt Harris, who had a good run here, was the head coach. Then Dave Wanstead took over the year after he was redshirted and sat behind Tyler Palko, who went to the NFL, and Luke Getsy. He only got in 2 games, wasn't going to get the starting job when Wanstead got here. He said, I just wanted to play. So goodbye, Pitt. Went to Delaware. Ended up playing a couple of seasons. Runner-up for the national title to Appalachian State last year. Moved up the draft board, first rounder. Rolling, nothing coming with him. Picking up blockers. Can he find something on the opposite side? Long time to keep it alive. And complete to Mason. Wow, first down. Gain of 26.
You know, we do have the drop clock as a part of our arsenal. That thing may be about 15 seconds. This incredible job by Joe Flacco. Here, nothing there. He's looking at the route to the outside. Now, normally when you get in this situation, you want to see the quarterback throw it away, not take a hit. Well, Joe comes back the other way. Still eyes downfield, looking to throw, not to run, and finds Derek Mason. You talk about extending the play. That may be as good as Donovan McNabb did on a Monday night a few years back.
McNabb was 14 seconds in Dallas. That was about 7.5 to 8 seconds, I think. McClain, nothing there. Willis McGahee getting x-rays on his chest, so it'll be a lot of McClain in the second half.
Let's go back to the notion of Flacco, who thought that it might take until the second round, late in the second day of the draft for him to be drafted because he was coming out of Delaware and not everybody knew who he was. He was surprised to go in the first round, obviously. He had hoped to just get a shot somewhere in the NFL. Certainly didn't think he'd be starting by game 1 in his rookie year, and probably can't believe that at the moment he's taking it to the Pittsburgh Steelers on national TV on Monday night where nobody even knew his name 4 months ago.
McClain got a nice block from the veteran Lorenzo Neal before James Farrier could clean it up for the tackle at the 37. Well, third down coming up.
That particular play, he kept that alive so long, Usain Bolt could have won the 200 and taken a victory lap. That's how long he kept that alive. At the beginning of the game, Mike, we talked about the surprise of the Baltimore Ravens. I was certainly very skeptical. I didn't think they'd beaten anybody so far. But if they go into Pittsburgh and beat Pittsburgh, that's a great win for the Ravens.
As Steeler running back Rashard Mendenhall gets carted off to be checked out with that shoulder, I assume. It's 3rd and 4 on the field, and Flacco's pass is deflected by Nick Eason, one of the 5 D linemen active for the Steelers tonight. And there goes the rookie out of Illinois, Mendenhall, arm or shoulder.
Hart's getting a lot of use tonight.
Yeah,
a lot.
Left shoulder, they say, from the Steelers sideline, questionable. From here, a field goal would be 53 yards. That's the back end of Matt Stover's range. He missed from 47 and 48. He's just out of range, so they'll try with Sam Cook to pin the Steelers inside the 10. Wally Moore signals the fair catch. Will die at the 6. And in a game that Mike Tomlin said field goals and net punting very important, big net punting edge to the Ravens.
That's Ben. He's not happy at all.
American and National League Division Series starts this Wednesday only on NASN.
And Yankee fans are like oil and water. Cubs and White Sox fans at the same dinner table? Bad idea. Despite their differences, fans do have one thing in common. Their heroes all wear Majestic Athletic, the official uniform supplier for all 30 Major League Baseball teams. Available now all over Europe at NASN.com.
Deep into center field. Manning going back. This could be out of here. Manning looks up. It's out of here. A home run for Harold Baines. The Sox win 7-6 in the longest game in American League history.
NASN's coverage of the NFL continues with a live triple header. First up, the Super Bowl champion Giants host the Seahawks. Then it's Cincinnati at Dallas. And finally, the Steelers pay a visit to Jacksonville. A live NFL triple header. Coverage starts with NFL Countdown this Sunday only on NASN.
Done pretty well for Mike Tomlin's first year plus as the Steelers head coach. But in the end of last year, the playoff loss at home to Jacksonville. And now the first real offensive drought that his team has seen in his 2 years as head coach. Drive started at the 7. Roethlisberger throw complete. 2-yard shy of the first down, Hines Ward.
You know, Mike, last week, Pittsburgh had trouble picking up the blitz from Philadelphia. They struggle in this one. Here you see Marvell Smith. He has to stay in and block. You'll see Kerry Davis has to stay in and block. That means Corey Ivy is going to have the edge with no one blocking him at Ben Roethlisberger. The ball must come out. This is a hot read. Look at the triangle there. Once the blitz comes, Ray Lewis must come from the inside and cover Hines Ward. The ball must come out. It doesn't. Consequently, Corey Ivy gets the sack on Ben Roethlisberger.
After Ward's first catch, no Mendenhall, so Davis has to run it. First down, they get across the 20. That's a big deal for these guys. First down they picked up in a half dozen drives. When you talk about Roethlisberger and the pressure, how often he's been sacked. 4th most in the NFL since 2004. And some of that, as you guys alluded to, Jaws, offensive line change, and Tony, you alluded to the criticism, Ben holding on the ball sometimes too long.
You know, your great strength is your great weakness. He's big and he's strong, and he can take a hit, and maybe he takes too many of them.
And you have to include the wide receivers. They have to read coverage with the same eyes the quarterback does.
Davis loses a couple of yards. Jaws pointed this out during a timeout. Justin Bannett, 94, has spent half the game on the Steelers side of the ball. 7th year out of Colorado. He's replacing Kelly Gregg, who's usually the nose guard, but he's been out, hasn't played in 08. Bannon's done a great job tonight.
Well, the defensive line, it's all about penetration. And at 3-4, it's almost a 2-gap technique. You are going belly to belly with one of those offensive linemen the entire game. Bannon's been terrific, but so is Haloti Ngata and Trevor Price. They've been outstanding up front. It's going to be pressure again.
And a run against it, nowhere to go for Davis as Terrell Suggs is in there, and the fans are getting on the Steelers here. They're trying to establish some run to take a little bit of the heat off of Ben. But let's remember, Willie Parker, the knee injury, out for the next couple of games. See, the running total is low. They turn to the rookie, Rashard Mendenhall, the first-round pick. You saw him go up to the locker room to get his left shoulder looked at. So Davis, really mostly a fullback, is the guy who's now the back. Moreeeee Moore is their third down back, and now he's in the game.
It's almost irrelevant who's in the backfield. The game is being played in the Steeler backfield by the defensive line of the Baltimore Ravens.
Here they all come. And a flag.
False start. Offense. Number 74. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
I think one of the reasons that people expect more out of Ben Roethlisberger is look what he has delivered already. He won a Super Bowl in, I believe, only his second year. Last year, he was the number 2 rated passer behind Tom Brady in the whole league. He had 32 touchdowns and 11 interceptions. He was great. And so they look at him, they know the contract, and they say, okay, we understand you don't have a running back. We understand people are hurt, but you're great. Lead us out of this. Maybe the expectations are too high, but maybe he's earned them over the past few years.
Third 16, Ravens bring the same pressure right up the middle, away from Tom Zibikowski, and throws through the arms of Santonio Holmes. Incomplete. The Golden Domer couldn't get to him, but Holmes couldn't squeeze it, and the Steelers punt again.
Yeah, once again, this is a pressure that Pittsburgh saw last week. Blitzes through that A-gap. Again, Zibikowski comes in untouched. Ben is fortunate enough to be able to avoid the rush, but he misses the crossing route to Santonio Holmes.
Well, the Steelers did pick up a first down on that series for the first time since their 7th snap of the game. Flag is down as this punt, which was poor off the foot, will end up back inside the 40. And we'll check a couple of flags. Baltimore dropped Ed Reed back to return that punt. Reed has scored 9 touchdowns, multiple forms, interception returns, fumble returns, punt return we saw last year.
That's like going for the knockout,
12 men on the field on the return team. Penalty is declined. First down, Baltimore. Timeout.
Pittsburgh Steelers, 4 first downs, 29 plays, 69 yards. Yuck.
Heward, pump faking. Now he looks to the middle. He's got time to throw. Corner pattern. Tony Gonzalez has now tied for the all-time NFL touchdown receiving mark for a tight end. They play fake. Throw it right side for Gonzalez, and the catch is made. It's a catch for Canton as Tony Gonzalez, his 63rd career touchdown catch, the most by any tight end in National Football League history.
Reggie Bush electrifying. Reggie Bush using his speed.
Reggie Bush points it Urlacher.
A historic run for Reggie Bush.
He dives in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Touchdown, Reggie Bush.
Monday means NFL on NASN. Week 5 of the NFL, and after an uneven start to their season, the Saints are looking to get a win as they host the Vikings at the Superdome. Live NFL this Monday only on NASN.
One and 2 in the league for the most jerseys worn to a game. And all the fans seem to come in their jerseys. Steelers are wearing the old school ones, and it looks like an offense from another generation tonight. Willis McGahee back in the game after the x-rays on the chest injury. Hard to believe the way he went out that he would be back in to take more of that.
It's a glutton for punishment now.
Jaws?
Well, we got to look at this one. Joe Flacco in the shotgun right here. Get that release clock working, guys. Here he finds nothing downfield, sprints his left. He's going to go out of bounds. Oh, no, he's not. He's going to come back, extending the play, looking to make a play downfield. The clock is still running. 12.4 seconds. He finds Derek Mason for the completion. This is almost a Monday Night Football record. Donovan McNabb had 14 seconds on the
jump
release
stop.
clock.
That was an NBA jump stop right there. That was great.
I thought this guy wasn't elusive. I thought he didn't have moves.
Yeah, Aaron Smith doesn't think that. But what I loved about the entire play, his eyes were downfield. He was looking to throw the football. A lot of quarterbacks get in the edge, extend the play, they take off and run. I love the fact that Flacco was looking downfield.
Chris Hoke had to come out of the game for a second for the Steelers. They only dressed 5 linemen for the game tonight. Hoke out for a moment gets him down to 4. 2nd and 9. Flacco's out for Mason that they've hit a few times. Incomplete. We kind of alluded to this in the first half of Roethlisberger and Flacco, where you can make comparisons on the teams that they come to, but even go backwards a little bit. Big quarterbacks, not thought to be very mobile. And Tony, we were talking about this last night. Yes, Ben Roethlisberger went to Miami of Ohio, and we saw more of him
Yes, he had some
college,
publicity.
but still guys who you question the competition they played in college.
Absolutely.
Would they be good enough, let alone good enough to jump right into the deep end? And Ben did, and Flacco's doing it in the first month of the season.
But always with the same thing, the notion that an offensive coordinator wants them to manage the game, doesn't want to get them in trouble in the first few games that they play.
3rd and 9, a deep ball for Mark Clayton. Meet Troy Polamalu. 4th down.
You know, Mike, when you get into the quarterback discussion, you know, you talk about Roethlisberger, you talk about Flacco. People want to talk about mobility, extending the play. That's all great stuff. You've got to be able to throw the football, number 1. You got to be able to read coverage, number 2. Number 3, get it out of your hand. If you have the running ability to extend the play, that's great. But you have to do the other 3 things first. And it all starts with being able to throw the football.
Part of the difference, too, was that Roethlisberger went to a great team. Flacco has not gone yet to a great team.
We may not know
they're getting good.
Sam Cook kicking it for the sideline. His worst kick of what has otherwise been a very good night. Will give Pittsburgh the ball around the 30-yard line. Officials will mark it at the 33.
These guys look fantastic. I'm so proud.
Join the Reebok Hockey Revolution. Visit NASN.com, your home for North American sports merchandise.
NASN, the #1 source for all your NFL coverage this season. We kick off each week with Sunday NFL Countdown, followed by up to 3 live games, including the top matchups from across the league. Mondays continue with 2 first-run games followed by NFL Primetime and Monday Night Countdown with all the top stories from Sunday and all the buzz leading into the live game on Monday Night Football. Don't miss all the latest news, analysis, and features weekdays with NFL Total Access. Plus bonus coverage with NFL Game Day, Top 10, and Who Is. And come playoff time, we've got you covered with even more live games as the AFC and the NFC crown their champions with the Wild Card, Divisional, and Conference Championships. And the greatest game of them all, Super Bowl 43, live from Tampa, Florida. Plus your annual trip to the Pro Bowl in Hawaii. The NFL this season on NASN.
Monday night, we go down to New Orleans to see Adrian Peterson and the Vikings against Reggie Bush. Deuce McAllister back in the lineup. Drew Brees has been doing it through the air without Marcus Colston and Jeremy Shockey. 2-2 Saints, 1-3 Vikings. Next Monday night on ESPN. Remember that Roethlisberger play back in the first half?
Way back in the first half.
The second drive for Pittsburgh, where he threw that interception, that ball that you really didn't know what he was trying to do. They haven't had the ball this deep since then. Everything's happened inside the 30 up until now. From the 33. First decent field position in a while. In reverse, Nate Washington. Got away from Jared Johnson and able to make a gain on the play, and Johnson with a push that'll cost him some yards.
Yeah, Jared Johnson with a push on Hines Ward. The play was clearly over. He's going to get tacked 15 onto that one. And Hines is loving it. Hey, come on, bring it on. Because Hines will go back and hit him now.
That's still one play.
Well,
it is a play. Personal foul. Defense, number 95. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run. First down.
That is a silly play. Remember the game we saw last year with the Ravens and the undefeated Patriots that went down to the final minute when Jabbar Gaffney caught the touchdown to keep the perfect season alive. The meltdown that followed that has been a problem for the Ravens defense at times. That fine line of aggression and not seeing when they go over it.
That was Bart Scott last year.
Bart Scott picked up and threw the flag, among other things. Yeah.
All right, the Steelers have changed up. They've gone to the no huddle. You got to do something. They haven't done a darn thing. So now they're going to pick up the tempo of the game. And they'll see if they can get that offense jump started. Waiting out 3 wide receivers, 1 back.
They introduced themselves to Raven territory for the first time since the first drive. And Davis runs it inside to the 42-yard line. Getting down to their 3rd back with Parker and Mendenhall out with injuries from last week and tonight, respectively. Terry Davis, undrafted, went to Illinois, worked in the
Edwards throws right on the money. Touchdown, Appalachian State.
What do I control? I don't control the bumps and the bruises, the crowd, or who covers me. I don't control the bounces, the shootout order, or for that matter, what happens outside the rink. There are a lot of things in life I don't control. But then again, there are some things that I do.
American and National League Division Series starts this Wednesday only on NASN.
Those terrible towels that they had put someplace at halftime.
Half of them were on eBay.
And like many things in the country, their value was plummeting by the second. 13-10, back in the ball game. Yaman Figures hit it, got a seam, and he almost broke it free. Figures brought down at the 29. Well, the key play, perhaps, in that touchdown drive, this 15-yard flag on Jarrett Johnson, his 6th year in the league, 82 games, the first time he picked up a 15-yard personal foul penalty, and John Harbaugh was right in the ear hole of his linebacker, telling him how bad a mistake. And Hines Ward, who has the ability to get under your skin, did it, and it worked.
You could clearly read lips on Harbaugh saying, "Do you hear what I'm saying to you?"
Pressure back on Flacco and the Baltimore offense. Attack, ball out, it's live. It's recovered and untouched. Woodley scores. In the end zone, it will go with the taunting and celebration at the back end of the play. The touchdown will count, and the Steelers lead.
There is no foul for unsportsmanlike conduct. Only one member of the Steelers jumped into the stands, therefore there is no foul. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
It's like can't have multiple guys. Can't have multiple guys jump in the stands.
You can't have a multiple Lambeau leap.
Can't do it.
Yeah. With a Heinz hurdle, I guess it would be.
Very good. Fairly quick turnaround in this game. What did you say?
2 and 15 seconds.
Yeah.
And just like that, down 10, up 4.
Well, we were seeing the praises of Joe Flacco, ability to get the ball out of his hand. He held on to the ball. That's always good. Get in this situation, got to get the ball in. He's waiting, nothing open, moves out the pocket. James Harrison comes around the backside, makes the play. Lamar Woodley picks it up, takes it to the house. You'll see Harrison right here looping around. Look at the shot he's got on Flacco and the ball, most importantly. Harrison saw the football, knocked it out of his hand, takes Joe Flacco down in the play. Look at Flacco's head snap back from a jarring hit by James Harrison. And look at Woodley. He sees the football. That's the key. Right now, Woodley knows the ball is loose. It gets kicked out. He's going to pick it up, and he sees nothing but that end zone.
Joe, I'm James. Hi, welcome to the NFL.
And Woodley, the former Defensive Player of the Year at Michigan, won the Lombardi Award, won the Hendricks Award, Best Defensive End. He had an interception against Cleveland. He said, "I never had an interception in the NFL or college or high school or midget football." Well, now he has his first National Football League touchdown. And the Steelers, who had gone 9 points in the previous 6 quarters,
it's incredible.
In a quarter of a minute, score 14.
That column that I told you everybody was starting to write at the end of the half, that column is gone at the moment.
Right. That one's gone. What a turnaround. Look at this crowd. They are back into the game. And you got to look back to the Jarrett Johnson penalty. Was that one that ignited the
really
Steelers?
Stupid.
short kick. Got to get on it. Recover picked up by Lorenzo Neal. Brought down by Anthony Madison.
Here comes that hostile environment that we were talking about. This game is turned around 180 degrees. It's all Steelers right now. Defensive touchdown. Flacco just made a mistake. Now you find out about your young quarterback. How does he deal with adversity in this environment?
From the 26, McLean, this shy of the 30, gain of about 3.5. It's enjoyable to watch, not to be a part of. The continued exam process. Flacco comes out, win their first 2 games. They have a lead, get a lead here, and now adversity sets in on the road for the first time for John Harbaugh as a head coach and for his quarterback.
It was getting near that point at 13-3 where you could say if it went 3 or 4 minutes further, the Baltimore defense could win the game, could shut it down. Flacco wouldn't have to throw. They'd run a little bit. They'd kill the clock. It would be over. Now for the first time all year in the second half, they're in a bad way, Baltimore.
Play clock, timeout.
Baltimore, 30-second timeout.
And now you're seeing a team be flustered, right? I mean, not only do they make the bad play, the fumble that leads to a touchdown, but now they come out, they can't run the play. So you're seeing rookie coach, rookie quarterback, certain amount of being flustered, Jaws?
No question about it. You know, the environment here, the noise that comes into play, the communication, all begins to break down slightly. Before we get back to that Ravens offense, I got to give some props to Bruce Arians, the offensive coordinator for the Steelers. This offense stunk for that first half. They came out, played 40 the first drive of the third quarter. They go to the no huddle. The spark works. Sometimes you got to go to a radical change, try to ignite your football team. The Steelers bought into that approach and went right down the field and scored.
You don't want to mince words. You want to go and stunk.
Yeah.
There you go.
They had 46 yards at halftime.
I respect that as an English major. I respect that word stunk.
Sometimes you gotta have clarity.
I like that.
Rush, Flacco hit. Almost deflected to Ryan Clark. James Harrison again right in the face of the quarterback. Harrison has become a Monday Night legend, hasn't he? He had the 3.5 sack game last year against the Ravens. This quarter, Flacco's 1 of 6. And about 65,000 people yelling at him here for third down. Play clock again. Just got it off. Be careful, the ball's out again. Recovered by Marshall Yanda, the guard. And the Steeler defense heard from.
You see Flacco walk off there. But first time under duress in the NFL and not doing well right now at all.
You're beginning to see the importance of ball security. You're beginning to see a rookie quarterback in his third start. Protect the football. There's bodies flying around. Put the ball away. Take the sack. Don't turn it over. You see once again Flacco waving the ball around. This is the experience he's going to have to go through.
Not Monmouth, is it, football. He's not playing Monmouth anymore.
Beautiful kick by Cook. Goodness, that's over 60 yards. Santonio Holmes, touchdown a moment ago. Out of bounds at the 39-yard line. 61-yard punt. 13 on the return. The Steeler defense after him.
Yeah, Lamar Woodley, Aaron Smith. You can't get to Joe Flacco quick enough right now. He can't put his back foot in the ground. Defenders around him. Right here, you know the play is over. Put the ball away, Joe. Don't turn the football over. You already made one critical mistake in giving the Steelers a touchdown. Don't compound it by trying to make a play. Sometimes a punt is good. This is still only a 4-point game.
That ball way away from him, giving everybody the opportunity as opposed to close to his body to just accept the sack. And Cam Cameron coached Miami last year. Only team they beat was Baltimore. Roethlisberger takes over at the 39. First down, gain of 11, Nate Washington midfield.
I want to go back to something. I want to ask you a question, George. And please don't wear that no-shirt look at any time during the booth. Do you think it's possible that when he made that scramble, when Flacco made that scramble, that 12, 14-second scramble, that he began to think, I'm invincible, this is my night, I can do whatever I need out here?
No, I don't think so. I mean, he probably felt pretty good about the play, but I don't think that defined this game for him.
Even though he's holding the ball recklessly.
Well, he's holding recklessly, no question to that, but that's the learning experience he's going to go through as a young quarterback.
Tackled by Douglas.
Steelers staying with that no huddle. Good approach. Hey, it worked. Stay with it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Down and 7.
Well, it was broken. They fixed it.
Well, that was earlier.
That's right.
And Ben has also gone to the quicker drops, and I think that will help that offensive line as well. The deep drops, they weren't working.
47, Davis, Ray Lewis in the backfield. Loss of 2. Ron, when they go to the no huddle, what does that do to hamper Baltimore's defensive scheme?
Well, I think the key is what it does. It defines what they want to do, not necessarily what the Ravens want to do. It spreads out the defense. You can see it with clarity, where the blitzes will be coming from. And the Ravens will be coming with a high percentage of blitz. So I think by spreading them out, really showed Ben where they would be coming from. If they were going to blitz and get the ball out of his hand.
The former Super Bowl MVP has 9 tackles tonight. Third hit. Extra DB in for the Ravens. The 5 are picked up. Roethlisberger's pass is incomplete. Jared Johnson clogging up the passing lane, and the Ravens even put the stop sign up on the momentum-running Steelers.
That time the Steelers' offensive line did a good job. Ben had time in the pocket to deliver the football down the field, to drive off that back foot, but give that Ravens secondary and linebackers covering underneath. Good job.
Good high kick by Berger in his career. Been good at pinning the opponents inside the 10. And we'll get him down to the 8. It's Berger kicking with his 7th different NFL team. How this whole thing spun around and quickly. The Jared Johnson 15-yarder. First 15-yard flag of his career. Set up the Steelers out of the no-huddle. Santonio Holmes shakes 2 tackles. Gets in for the touchdown. Then Baltimore gets it back. James Harrison knocks it out of Flacco's hand. Lamar Woodley scooped it and scored it. 2 touchdowns, 15 seconds. From down 10 to up 4. And in the process, the field has flipped. Where Baltimore had the field position advantage, Ray Lewis's defense has had the shorter fields here the last couple of trips. Ron McClain, the carry. Good run back there near your own end zone. Gain of 6. That'll bring the third quarter to an end. All 14 in the quarter scored by Pittsburgh. They lead by 4 to the 4th.
NASN's coverage of the NFL continues with a live triple header. First up, the Super Bowl champion Giants host the Seahawks. Then it's Cincinnati at Dallas. And finally, the Steelers pay a visit to Jacksonville. A live NFL triple header. Coverage starts with NFL Countdown. This Sunday, only on NASN.
Hockey's not just a game, it's a lifestyle.
Join the Reebok revolution. Visit NASN.com, your home for North American sports merchandise.
He could dance, he could float, and boy, could he sting. In October, join us on ESPN Classic to celebrate the boxing achievements of the greatest of all time. The one and only Ali, the greatest. Weeknights in October.
It's nice when the setup delivers and you expect a hard-nosed, defensive-minded, big-hitting, tight game, and it's exactly what the Ravens and Steelers have delivered. Baltimore 2-0, Pittsburgh 2-1, and we get set to begin the fourth quarter.
You know the only thing that's missing from this game? Snow. Snow would be great right now.
Well, Ron McClain with the carry, going to be a couple of yards shy of the first down. We have 3rd and 2 coming up. Ron, take me over to that Baltimore sideline, rookie head coach, rookie quarterback. How do you handle this sudden turn of emotion?
Stay with the plan. There's no need to panic right now. It's a 17-13 game, only a 4-point deficit. You want to keep calm. The worst thing you can do is panic in this situation. Try to flip the field a little bit. Get yourself up near that 30, 40-yard line on this drive if you don't score. This is a big play right here. If they want to sustain offense, they've got to convert this 3rd down to a 1st down.
3 and out, turnover, 3 and out their last 3 drives.
And once again, an empty backfield, no one in the backfield except Flacco. It'll be a quick drop, and the ball's batted.
Batted down, Larry Foote coming in, the linebacker, and it forces 4th down. Another 3 and out.
Excellent job by the Steelers against this empty, bringing heat. You see Foote come in untouched. Flacco's got to learn from a different platform, kind of throw around that blitz. As the experienced quarterback in this game mature, they realize when you got people in your face, it may not be the perfect prototypical come over the top throw. Sometimes you got to throw around that oncoming defender to get the completion.
Another Sam Cook punt. More returnable, 49 yards. Santonio Holmes turned it upfield and got 6 on takeback. And Ravens players shaken up on the return. The man who was involved in the tackle went right down.
You see Mike Tomlin on the screen. Last week, it sort of dissolved for the Steelers against Philadelphia. And Roethlisberger took 8 sacks, and there was chaos on the sideline that Tomlin talked about, and he had to learn how to calm that down. And tonight, not faced with a chaotic situation on the sideline, but faced with a potential loss of a home game to a division team that you don't expect is going to happen, he was very calm. He came out of the half, right? No, came out of the half.
You don't think it was chaotic?
I think he came out of the half and they knew what they were doing when they went to the no huddle.
Antoine Barnes, the injured player, will be right back.
American and National League Division Series starts this Wednesday only on NASN.
Fast minds, fast hands, and let's take it to them. One play at a time. One play at a time. Don't get ahead of yourself. We hungry, baby. No. That is the way to stomp your way into the playoffs.
Monday means NFL on NASN. Week 5 of the NFL, and after an uneven start to their season, the Saints are looking to get a win as they host the Vikings at the Superdome. Live NFL this Monday only on NASN.
ESPN's Monday Night Football is brought to you by Acura Advance. Sears. This season, find everything you need to fall forward only at Sears. And NFL.com. Play the NFL Playbook Challenge and NFL Touchdown Challenge at NFL.com today.
Just across the river from downtown Pittsburgh, Antoine Barnes, the injured player, is able to come off mostly under his own power. Steelers take over with decent field position again, leading by 4. Harry Davis is the back. Mendenhall hurt early in this quarter. The rookie Richard has not returned. A gain of 2. Tony, back to your conversation before the timeout.
Yeah, we were talking about Tomlin, and this in his second year, and maybe a critical juncture in his second year as his team begins to be inept offensively. But we were talking about the differences first year and second year, and he said that last year I was evaluating everyone and everything, and he used this great phrase, now I've had a lap around the track. It's a beautiful phrase, and after this play we'll get to the other great phrase that he used about the differences between being a head coach for the first time, having been only a position coach prior to that.
And then back to the huddle on this drive. We're back to the empty set. Ravens rush 4, and Ben Flush going to take off. A flag down as he gets a would-be first down at midfield. Bart Scott finally brings him down. Let's see what the flag is for.
Looks like defensive holding, but Ben was also outside the pocket.
Had a couple of flags picked up tonight.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Illegal formation. Offense, number 86, was not on the line. Also holding. Defense, number 52. Penalties offset.
We have time to do this because you see Tomlin on the screen again. He talked about the difference when you have a head coaching job. That's the first time that you always have someone on the grass. You're responsible for offense and defense and special teams, the field being the grass. And he said you have to pick moments every once in a while to turn away from the grass and talk to the players sitting on a bench. Somebody might need a little consoling. Somebody might need a little bit of a pep talk. I just thought that phrase was so flowery and so exact at the same time to talk about on the grass like that. Hard not to like Tomlin. Hard not to be impressed with his command of the language and his command of a team.
Yeah, and I love the lap around the track. You know,
yeah.
You can't fool him anymore. He's been around the track.
Yeah, he's a very impressive guy. And he feels better right now than he felt in the first half. I guarantee you that.
You got that right.
Steeler timeout.
NASN's coverage of the NFL continues with a live triple header. First up, the Super Bowl champion Giants host the Seahawks. Then it's Cincinnati at Dallas. And finally, the Steelers pay a visit to Jacksonville. A live NFL triple header. Coverage starts with NFL Countdown this Sunday only on NASN.
For live commentary, news and stats, scrum.com. Instant rugby, anywhere.
ESPN 360. Whenever you're online, you're at the game.
The stage is set for the opening weekend of a new NHL season. And this year, the stars are gathering for the Bridgestone NHL Premier 2008 events in the great cities of Prague and Stockholm. Catch all the excitement live this weekend only on NASN.
I don't know about the Friends, but we have the Rowdy here tonight, that's for sure. Pittsburgh called the timeout. By the way, they played the second half without Kendall Simmons, their starting right guard. Darnell Stapleton, free agent out of Rutgers, in his second year has stepped in, done a decent job. Pressure on Roethlisberger, got rid of the hit, wide open. Nate Washington, cut back and down at the 10. And Roethlisberger able to elude a would-be sack with that size and get a gain of 49.
That's the good Ben right there, to get away from the untouched defender. Curly Adam, he got away, found Hines Ward down the field. This is an outstanding job by Ben Roethlisberger as Bart Scott comes in clean, whiffs on the tackle. Ben stays on his feet, finds Hines Ward down the field. What a terrific play by Ben Roethlisberger. That's the good Ben Roethlisberger by holding on to the ball, extending the play.
My mistake was Hines Ward, not Washington. I apologize to take it down to the 10.
All right, Mike, your first mistake of the year.
Willie Moore is the back. Flag stops the play. Timeout, Pittsburgh. They were having problems with the tackle, Marvell Smith, who was hurt on that prior play, and perhaps that's where the timeout came from.
Second charge timeout of the half. Pittsburgh.
Steelers have it at the 10, leading by 4. We'll be right back.
Pardon the interruption, but I'm Mike Wilbon. Tony, how would you describe us to our overseas viewers?
I'm Tony Kornheiser. We're sort of like America's Bex and Posh. I'm Bex.
Bex has a comb-over?
ESPN's Pardon the Interruption. Join Tony and Mike for all the latest opinions and headlines weeknights only on NASN.
Touchdown Seminoles!
Finds an alley. Gonna be a touchdown, Deion Sanders. What a play by the Seminoles, some razzle-dazzle.
He'll run for the touchdown. He's going to the house. Touchdown, Florida State.
For live commentary, news and stats, scrum.com. Instant rugby, anywhere.
Monday means NFL on NASN. Week 5 of the NFL, and after an uneven start to their season, the Saints are looking to get a win as they host the Vikings at the Superdome. Live NFL this Monday only on NASN.
We break down tonight's AFC North throwdown. Plus, Emmett explains why T.O. should, and I'm quoting Emmett, just shut up and play. Mike Tirico, it's all going down after the game.
Okay, Stuart, thank you. Interesting comments from Terrell Owens. The guys had a lot to say about that on Monday Night Countdown. Chris Carter and Keyshawn Johnson chiming in as well.
Just play ball, Mike. Just play ball.
Cannot get a first down, so it's first and goal. Changes to something he likes. Davis runs to the right. Ray Lewis has him for his 10th tackle. Gain it 2. Ron, you talk about what Ben does so well.
Yeah, there's risk-reward. Holding on to the football. Look at this play by Ben Roethlisberger. He escapes the pressure from Bart Scott. Eyes downfield, and he's going to find the big play to Hines Ward. Really, really good job hanging in the pocket.
You talk about big quarterback, 6'5", 240. His passer rating, taking all the stats into account, best in the NFL when contacted by the defense. And he's done it tonight just as well as those numbers usually bear out for his 4 years. Second and goal. Time, flag. First row.
At some point, you are the quarterback who you are. Everybody knows what that means for somebody like Brett Favre or Kurt Warner, that they're not going to manage the game. They're going to throw it. Ben Roethlisberger, that statistic about how good he is when he's contacted.
Holding, defense, number 91.
Your first down.
Penalty is half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
When you have a statistic like that, and when you're 6'5" and about 250, and you can take a hit, you say, that's who I am. And so it's always going to be dicey, Jaws. He's always going to hang in there, often a little bit too long, but he's going to be able to make that great play because he has that body that allows him to do it, and it's in his head. That's who he is as a quarterback now.
And there's a confidence to his game that he feels he can make those plays.
Yep.
Two tight ends in the game. And really the third, McHugh, is the fullback here. Gonna throw for it. Got himself under pressure. There's no receiver over there. The question is, out of the tackle box, the question of grounding, and he was out of there, so it's second down.
You know, Mike, you did mention the two tight ends on the field for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and McHugh in the fullback spot, who's also a tight end. In this game, they have used a lot of two tight ends or more, particularly after Kendall Simmons went out. I believe they wanted more protection for Ben Roethlisberger. Except when they spread the field, goes 3 and 4 wide, they've been a predominant two tight end offense.
Hines Ward comes out, so they changed the defensive personnel package for the Ravens. Run with Moore. Down toward the 1. Bart Scott and Ray Lewis right in the middle of it.
The heavy package coming back on the field for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
From Weldy Moore, he had only one run here in the first few games. Guy was the third down back for 4 years with the Vikings. As mentioned, that heavy package, it includes Max Starks, another offensive tackle in there, 78. Eligible receiver, so he's okay on the end of the line. Moore, right. Not there. And much like last night's Eagles-Bears game, it's 17-13 here. A field goal puts you up 7. Even though you're at the 1 yard line, this is the right call.
Absolutely, Mike. You take the points right here. Get 3 on the board, give yourself a 1 touchdown lead. Great job by the Ravens defense here. They moved the line of scrimmage into the Steeler backfield. Outstanding penetration. Ray Lewis down on the bottom of that pile making the play.
You said from your film study that Ray Lewis has not lost a step. And he's got a dozen tackles here tonight. 13th year in the league, age 33.
Yeah, Mike, he came into this game, this game with 2,014 career tackles. Added to that.
So a 19-yard field goal for Jeff Reed. And the Steelers have a touchdown lead with 9:19 to go. Talk about Ray Lewis and still playing at a high level. It's been a long and great career for Ray Lewis, 9 times the Pro Bowl. We asked him his personal top 5 moments. He's at Super Bowl MVP there, the 50-yard interception in the playoff on the run to the Super Bowl, that number 1 defense, the 13-3 team, twice the Defensive Player of the Year, and earning his degree eventually from the University of Maryland, where he ended up getting it, obviously, his college time at the University of Miami, of being in the Baltimore area in 2004, and Ray explained why he hasn't, in his mind, yet played his best football.
What's your best football? Your best football is when you can influence people around you to make a collective group come together and say, let's go win a championship. That's when you see the great ones. That's when you see a Michael Strahan take a young Giants team at 36 years old and go do something that people didn't even get a chance at 0-2. So when we speak about greatness and we speak about my best football, I know I haven't played because I've been waiting my whole career for this one balance, offensively and defensively.
Embodies everything that leadership is on the field and off with his teammates through the mistakes he's made in his past that he's learned the hard way. His phone has about 100 numbers of other NFL players on other teams. He is always available to the entire league. You got a question, call me. I'll be willing to help you, teammates or otherwise.
Become like a chaplain to about 100 players.
Yaman figures from a yard deep. We're going to get to the 23 as Anthony Madison makes his second special teams tackle.
Yeah, Mike, and I told you when I looked at the tape of Ray Lewis, he looked like a rookie, making plays all over the field. There, he got blocked a little bit. You don't see that too often. But his ability to diagnose a play quickly is really key to his success. Then he has the quickness and ability to take advantage of that diagnosis. Still playing at an amazing high level. And you may 13 seasons.
You may wonder down at the goal line, why did they go with Moreeeee Moore and not Kerry Davis? The other, he was going off to the locker room. So another Steeler running back got hurt. That's why the big back wasn't in at the goal line, and Lewis made the tackle on Moore. Baltimore has 1 first down and 5 net yards this half. McGahee's still out. LeRon McClain's the back. 2 yards.
It's amazing how the tempo of the Steeler defense has picked up. I mean, it's like a different football team right now. You could just see their enthusiasm on the field, hustling to the ball carrier. I mean, you don't see one gold hat. You see many gold hats.
Mark Clayton's been very quiet, receiver at the top tonight. It's been a lot of Derek Mason. Caught it at the 40 for the first down. About a half dozen catches now for Mason.
This is the position I think that Mike Tomlin wanted Baltimore to be in late in the game. Needing to score and needing to depend on a rookie quarterback. You know, making Joe Flacco the story of the game for the first time all year because he's had leads before. So...
yeah, and a good job by Cam Cameron, his play calling right there. He went back to a play that he used early in the game that was successful. Repeat the good plays in your play calling.
Second first down of the half, and a nice job tiptoeing through the hole and then powering through the would-be tackle. McClain steamrolled Polamalu and got the first down across midfield.
Pittsburgh's lost a lot of big bodies. The ones who are out there aren't that many out there, and they've got to be tired, right? They're at this point.
Well, they only have 5 defensive linemen.
That's the whole point.
They're wearing down a bit.
At this point in the game, if you have a good running attack, you're in the best position to use it.
And give it to a guy that weighs 260 pounds with quick feet. Why not?
Inflicts some punishment, sure.
McClain has had some good fourth quarters already this year. The Cincinnati game comes to mind. Harrison couldn't get there off the edge, and Mason has his 7th catch. He's now close to 100 yards in receiving. And a first down for Baltimore, trying to get a game-tying touchdown with 7 minutes left.
Really good job by Joe Flacco there. The one thing I've noticed, I've watched Joe throughout the first 2 games that he's played, he's able to identify isolation routes to the outside. In other words, when a wide receiver is going to have one-on-one coverage, he does a really good job. It could be man or it could be zone in the secondary, but he reads the isolation routes and throws the route with great confidence.
Mason caught 103 balls last year, 103 yards tonight. Playing Polamalu, see, you're not getting away this time. Deer wrestle you down there to the 35. You know who's enjoying this game? Who's rooting for a tying touchdown and a long overtime?
Tony Kornheiser.
No, that you'd be wrong on that. No, not for OT.
The Jacksonville Jaguars and the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah.
Because a Monday night to a Sunday is tough. After a physical Monday night game, it's really tough. How about playing Jacksonville in Jacksonville, which the Steelers do next Sunday night, and the Ravens get Tennessee at home? 2 physical teams when you're beat up. They're saying, keep going, guys. Second and 8. Woodley compresses the pocket, and Flacco goes down for a loss of 5. Lamar Woodley and James Harrison are having a night and a half here tonight.
Mike, that was a great word, compress, because that's exactly what happened. You'll see Woodley, number 56. He's on the big old fullback there. And I tell you what, Lorenzo Neal is a great blocker, but he just pushes him back. Now you look at Harrison. He's on Gaither. He just pushes him out of the way.
Woodley now 2.5 sacks. Third down. Stunt is picked up, and the throw again, it's Mason! Got a block! Derek Mason! First and goal, Baltimore at the 5. The gain is 35. And Deshae Townsend couldn't get it done.
Did you hear how quiet the crowd got after that completion? Did you see that?
Once again, a great job by Joe Flacco. You can see the Ravens go to 7-man protection. They're going to allow this play to develop deep down the field. And once again, the arm strength of Joe Flacco. That's a tight window to get the football into. He squeezes it in. What a great job.
Mason's been great tonight. LeRon McClain Down to 2, 4:37 to go. You kind of be thinking touchdown down here this late in the game for John Harbaugh, so maybe a decision is a few plays away for the rookie head coach. Ben may have a tie game to deal with if the rookie Flacco can get it done for the Ravens.
And the Ravens bring in their heavy offensive package, and it is a heavy offensive package. All tight ends and basically fullbacks, Lorenzo Neal and Ron McClain.
McClain bouncing. What a power run to the end zone. Touchdown.
He just ran over Lawrence Timmons. McClain at 260, down from 278 when he reported at training camp. Just ran over Lawrence Timmons, 234 pounds. You'll see it right here, coming right into your living room. You see the pull by Marshall Yonda coming around. Daniel Wilcox with the block. And now here's going to come the power run around the corner. Good job on the interior. Timmons comes up to make the play on McClain. Oh, get out of the way. Get out of the way. What a great run by LaRon McClain.
That's the happiest guy in the ballpark, Ray Lewis. He doesn't usually see offense like that. He's been on this team for about 43 years, and he doesn't see drives like that in the fourth quarter when his team is behind. There haven't been probably 5 of them in the last 10 years.
This extra point to tie the game at 20. And good. That was a guy 6'1", 234, with Ron McClain put his shoulder down and said, see you in the end zone in a tie game.
Four fast-talking American sports writers right there.
We got Rex.
Don't miss them. Get muted every day on Around the Horn, weekdays on NASN, your source for North American sports. Hornsey!
When a player comes up with the game on the line, the tension can be unbelievable.
And with 2 outs, this is it. Everyone in the ballpark, 56,018 people standing.
And when a player delivers time after time, well... you can call him clutch.
He has done it! He has done it!
The American and National League Division Series starts this Wednesday only on NASN.
In Pittsburgh, it's the Allegheny River. It's right beyond the open end of the stadium, the Monongahela. Just out of your picture, they meet right there at the confluence and form the Ohio. And for many years at that confluence, we've seen great games in this division. Hard-nosed games, Browns, Steelers, Ravens, and it continues here. All tied at 20, and now Ben Roethlisberger and Ray Lewis will take to the grass, as Mike Tomlin likes to say.
It's a great little phrase. He's flamboyantly articulate. Love to hear him talk.
Returnable kickoff from the 7, Welding Moore. The only healthy running back left for the Steelers. Taken down 30 by Marcus Smith.
Let's go back after that last drive that Baltimore made. There's Flacco, who led the drive. He's a rookie quarterback. You got a rookie head coach in Harbaugh. You got a first-year coordinator in Cam Cameron, who wants to make sure that Flacco doesn't get out of a comfort zone. The Baltimore Ravens don't make those drives on offense. They haven't for the last 10 years, especially not led by rookies. They don't go down the field in a hostile environment, down a touchdown, and actually score. They've scored on defense, not on offense. This would be very new for them.
Pittsburgh has 1 timeout left. Moore runs to the right. Going to gain about 6 yards. Let me just go through the laundry list here. Willie Parker, as we keep saying, out because of the knee injury to start the night. Rashard Mendenhall injured his shoulder at the start of the second half. And then Carey Davis injured his left ankle. His return is questionable. So Moore, the third down back, 4 years with the Vikings, comes over as a free agent. It's the only running back Mike Tomlin has right now. We could be looking at a game that goes to overtime.
You don't think Franco's in the neighborhood that he could sign him in a hurry?
They did have the legends here tonight.
That's right. Moore going to get about 1.5 yards here. We'll have third down coming up with 3:13 to go. And the Steelers staying in their no huddle. A 4-minute drill is something teams do often to try to, in the middle of practice week, simulate closing out a game with a drive to win. It's exactly what Pittsburgh's trying to do. Timeout, Baltimore. Ed Reed is mad at Bart Scott for calling timeout. So is Corey Ivan. Each team one left. Well, Cincinnati and Cleveland have not had a good start to the season. Cleveland's finally getting a win over Cincinnati last week. The Bengals are 0-4. Cincinnati is at 1-3. If the Ravens get this win tonight, 3-0, and as you guys said before, 3-0 in the division. Now, the schedule got messed up because of the hurricane, and they've got to play 15 in a row, but you win 3 division games, that says something.
And we've learned something about this team tonight. I mean, the Ravens are a good football team. We knew what they had defensively. They're rock solid on the defensive side of the football. I love the way Cam Cameron called this game. He wasn't trying to hide his young quarterback in his first start on the road in the National Football League. He asked him to make plays, and for the most part, he did.
Mike, you talk about 15 games in a row. We have to do 16.
Yes, we do.
Come on.
Empty backfield for Roethlisberger on 3rd and 3. Looking left toward Moore. Got it. First down. And Bart Scott a step and a half late. The drive stays alive with 2:42 to go.
See, the difference between a Baltimore Ravens drive and the one that they just did and this would be that Ben Roethlisberger has done this repeatedly in his career, knows how to do it, and you sort of expect him to do it.
It's familiarity with the situation.
Yeah.
Roethlisberger, you said, Tony, has been there. He still has to see the field with clarity. He did on that big third down play to Moreeeee Moore just a moment ago.
Just need a couple of first downs to get into field goal range, and Moore bouncing it toward the outside, gets to the 47, and that should take us to the 2-minute warning. So you figure the Steelers need about 20 yards to get field goal range with a chance to win it against the Ravens.
Monday means NFL on NASN. Week 5 of the NFL, and after an uneven start to their season, the Saints are looking to get a win as they host the Vikings at the Superdome. Live NFL this Monday only on NASN.
XGames.com is the year-round online destination for action sports from around the world. We've got the latest vids, bios, photo galleries, and news 24/7, 365. Moto, BMX, skate, rally, surf, and the exclusive home of the X Games. If it happened in the world of action sports, it'll be on XGames.com. Bookmark it and log on early and often. Anytime, any place. XGames.com.
If you're a Giant fan, you're believing.
This team's showing some guts, showing a lot of character. This is it. Doesn't get any better than this.
Boy, this has been a well-prepared New York Giants defense.
Going to bounce to the outside and walk in for the touchdown. What a throw by Manning. The Giants, they have earned a trip to the NFC Championship game in Green Bay. Lawrence Tynes has kicked the Giants to the Super Bowl.
later the evening in Oakland, earlier today in St. Louis. The White Sox force a one-game baseball playoff, and plenty of post-game here, so we got you covered all over. 2 minutes, one timeout, needing about 20 yards to get into Jeff Reed's field goal range. Second down, Roethlisberger from Moreeeee. Moore went up and tried to make a terrific catch and couldn't do it. Third down coming up. Clock stops, $1:53. Frame of reference, no rush, no adrenaline, but Jeff Reed's long in the pregame, 53 yards. Made one earlier with a little more comfort in the game. Jeff just taking a peek at the wind. There's really not much. That red line there at the 36 would get you to where it would be a 53-yard field goal, the longest he made going that way in warm-up. So if you see that red line, that's essentially field goal range.
And there actually is a little bit of a helping wind if he does have to kick one in that direction.
First third down and 5. Dan over the middle, deflected, incomplete. Was it Ray who got a hand on it?
It was
Santonio
Ray.
Holmes was the guy who was going to get open. And now they punt with $1:49 to go.
Well, Ray did an incredible job. Ray Lewis we're talking about has been pumped to the right, as you'll see here, to throw the quick slant. He comes back to his left, and Ray Lewis is right in the line of fire up on that ball. Ray did not bite the pump fake to the right. Good discipline.
Mitch Berger to kick. Steelers have some issues with the number of guys out there. They have 10 guys out there?
Yes.
3, 4, 5. Well, something Mitch Berger didn't like.
5-yard penalty.
Delay.
Fourth down.
Ten looked like 10.
It was 10.
I counted 10.
No, yeah, it was 10.
Moreeeee Moore wasn't out there.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, I mean, I've been doing everything as a running back. I'm the only one you have. Can you give me a break? It'll be interesting to see where they get the ball and what Harbaugh will do. Baltimore only has one timeout left with $1:49. See where it ends up. Figure's going to let it bounce. Now going to field it. Take it out of bounds at the 13-yard line, does Yamon Figures. 100 seconds left for Joe Flacco and the Ravens. Here's what they did on the last drive. And remember, before this drive, they only had 1 first down and 5 net yards in the half, the entire half. But Derek Mason a couple of times, good pass protection on this drive as well. Mason getting them close. And LaRon McClain, who chipped in with 5 carries and 20 yards, just left a shoulder print on the jersey of 94, Lawrence Timmons, for the game-tying touchdown.
This would be a very improbable score for the Baltimore Ravens.
Johns, do you do anything here?
Well, Figures really put him in a tough position right here by not fielding that punt. I think they'll take it to overtime unless they get a big play.
They were stripping at the ball, trying to get it from McClain. He gets to the 22.
You're really limited, Mike, because you only have 1 timeout. And the last thing you want to do down here is make a mistake, because you know the Steelers are coming in, trying to rip the ball out, strip the football, create the turnover.
You could be a legend, though. You know, if you're Flacco and you get this done, you could be a legend.
Lamar Woodley had his hands on that ball. McClain got to secure it with 2 hands here. He gets the first down, minute 7 left. It's kind of hard, the 2-minute drill. The 2-minute drill is so hard to do halfway. You know, it's so, the halfway 2-minute drill is just the worst. As McClain can't get up here.
It just doesn't seem like they're
out.
trying to get to the line all that quickly.
Well, McClain's hurt.
He's cramping.
McClain's hurt.
Yeah, he's cramping, no question of that.
And because he's hurt, they have to take this timeout.
You lose the timeout.
It'll
right
be
here.
their last timeout.
You lose it right here.
There's an injury inside of 2 minutes. Baltimore will be trying to third and final timeout.
And now with no timeouts and 46 seconds left, you're probably at the point where you don't take a chance down the field.
No, you wouldn't take a chance. I think, conventional wisdom would say, hey, work the sidelines, get out of bounds. But you know what? The Pittsburgh Steelers know that. they're going to guard the sideline. They're going to force you to run routes to the inside and throw the ball to the inside. And if there's one flaw I've seen in Flacco's game, small sampling, 2 games, he really hasn't read the underneath coverage to the inside very well. So Cam Cameron doing a good job. Hey, let's take this thing to overtime and see what happens.
Discretion is the better part of valor in this particular case.
You have better verbiage than I do, but that's what I was trying to say.
Just project this forward here, guys, for a second. With McClain hurt, cramps or whatever it might be, McGahee and McClain would be out. That would leave Baltimore with only Ray Rice, a rookie running back, and that can bring a lot of problems in pickups against the Steelers. This is not a game you expected to see a lot of Ray Rice.
If they had unlimited overtimes like hockey, nobody would be standing at the end of this game. They'd have run out of players.
Mike, I also believe they have Lorenzo Neal, who's a pretty good blocking back as well. If they get in that situation where they just need someone to block, and Low Neal's pretty good at that.
That's right. I'm thinking more for overtime, if there is an overtime for carrying the ball. But you're right if they decide to put it up in the air here for 46 seconds. McClain had 8 runs, 33 yards, and a touchdown here in this quarter.
This is sort of a load, isn't it? You don't want to get hit by him. This is sort of a load.
Three receivers, 1 back, and they'll run the rookie Ray Rice to the left. Try to get the ball out of his hands. And it's one of those, if you're going to do that, just take a knee and
play for overtime.
Yeah, overtime at this point.
And hope you get the coin flip. Well, and that's what they're playing for.
Well, now they will, but still, Mike, you run the play. You may get a gasher in there and get a big play, and then then maybe go up and spike the ball and take a shot down the field. But at your 25-yard line, you're not going to run any high-risk plays.
See McGahee, who had the injury before.
Ray's loving it.
Got hit in the chest. You saw how bad his eye was from last week as well.
Take a knee.
Now,
take a knee right here.
Oh, the penalty marker down. Do they have an illegal formation with nobody covering on the side here? Let's see. 7 seconds left.
They're prolonging the inevitable. Be a 10-second runoff if it's in.
The foul is illegal formation. Baltimore, number 78, was uncovered. By rule, a foul inside of 1 minute that is illegal formation will also carry with it a 10-second runoff. In this situation, the 7 seconds remaining will run off. That will be the end of regulation. We will now move into overtime.
Very anticlimactic end to regulation, don't you think? Very much so.
Well explained, though.
Here's the big play of the game, the coin flip.
Fitting of this rivalry, 3rd time they've gone here in this decade to overtime. Ravens winning both. Last overtime for the Steelers, they lost at the Jets last year in November 19-16. The last overtime for the Ravens was the game that Cam Cameron's Miami team won, the only game. I think Greg Camarillo of the Dolphins had the overtime only winning touchdown of the season for the 1-15 Dolphins. So each team to overtime last year.
Mike, it's interesting because you always ask the head coaches in our meetings what they would do at the coin toss to open the game. And for this game, both coaches said, well, we'd probably rather put our defense out there. Or their
not now.
Team. I don't know.
No.
Not now. No, Jaws. They're taking the ball.
Our friend Marty Morningwig.
I know you're going. I'm saying it may be something you think about.
No.
This hasn't been an offensive juggernaut, by the way.
Take the ball.
Our friend Marty Morningwig did that with the Lions many years ago.
And lost his job.
I was sitting next to my father-in-law watching the game, and I said, Dad, he will not be the head coach of this team after this year. You just can never do that.
Exactly right.
You can't do
throwing out a little trial balloon to see how America would react to that comment. Probably not very good.
You're the only person in America.
I just said you would think about it.
You and some guy who's almost passed out on a couch.
Stay back away.
Hang on a second. Please.
There's been a correction.
Yes.
We have a correction on the penalty with 7 seconds remaining. Due to the fact that there were 7 men on the line of scrimmage and we're not moving, the illegal formation is not a 10-second runoff. It is a foul at the snap. Therefore, we will have 7 seconds remaining in the game. We will have to snap the ball, and then we will end regulation. Will the game clock operator please reset the game clock to 7 seconds? Thank you.
You might not necessarily end regulation if it's a Joe Pisarcik situation, right?
How about the fake kneel down and throw like a go route?
You'd love that, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You'd love that.
See, that's something Buddy Ryan would do. I'm really reaching, aren't I, guys?
Well, he's going to take a knee, and then we're going to have a coin flip.
Exactly.
And maybe you can run out on the field and demand that whoever wins plays defense.
All right.
Okay, now we officially will have the 5th overtime of the season here in the National Football League. Home team has won 2. Road team has won 2. And yesterday, Jacksonville beat Houston 30-27. Then we've reached midnight here on the East Coast, and the GMC Sierra postgame will come up on SportsCenter after the game. T.O., who was thrown the ball or handed it to him or tossed to him almost 20 times in the Cowboys lost to the Redskins, spoke up afterwards. We'll ask our experts what they think. Top plays of week 4, complete story, baseball and everything else on SportsCenter after the game, and to midfield for the coin toss here for overtime.
Gentlemen, this is the coin now that we will flip for overtime. The overtime rules are each team will have 2 team timeouts. 4th quarter timing will be in effect. First team to score will win the game. Visiting captain, call the toss. The call is tails. It is a tail.
We want to receive.
Which way would you like to kick?
We want to receive. We want to receive.
Baltimore's won the toss and elected to receive.
It was a great try out of Jaws, hoping they would defer and kick, but instead, smartly, they elect to receive.
All right,
NASN's coverage of the NFL continues with a live triple header. First up, the Super Bowl champion Giants host the Seahawks. Then it's Cincinnati at Dallas. And finally, the Steelers pay a visit to Jacksonville. A live NFL triple header. Coverage starts with NFL Countdown this Sunday only on NASN.
Wicked Wednesday! We gotta have it today, boys! Great day to be alive and be a Bruin!
It's a tall order for a young group of kids that are just kind of blossoming and hope to go in there and do it.
Look it up! Lollygagging. That's old school for lazy. We do that. Everything we earned, we gained in the Tennessee game, you might as well just throw it out the window.
If we'll go in there and fight, and we'll go in there and play within ourselves and find some way to get them off the field in 3rd down.
Are you concerned about UCLA just laying an egg? You 4 guys ought to fly like the dang Blue Angels. Right next to each other, wingspans flying, ready to attack.
And if we can get it to the 4th quarter, that's our magic time.
It'll let it be what it'll be. We're going to show up with a bunch of guys wearing the same color uniform getting ready to get busy. We'll get it done.
American and National League Division Series starts this Wednesday only on NASN.
Adversity, but coming back with a key 4th quarter drive that has sent the game to overtime, tied at 20, and the Ravens set to get the ball to start OT.
Hard to argue with the fine performance of Joe Flacco. He made a mistake on the fumble. That's been about it.
The team that wins the toss has won all 4 overtime games this year, 2 of them on the opening drive. Yaman Figures from 3 yards deep. Flag down as Figures gets the sideline. 4 flags down as a great return back to midfield.
Figures on the return.
Will, in all likelihood, come back.
2 more flags you would have had at an amusement park.
That was funny. I like that. Made me laugh.
He had to take off his shoe to get to that final number.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Holding number 43 of the return team. That penalty is declined. Is also holding number 50 of the return team. That penalty will be accepted 10 yards from the spot of the foul. First down, Baltimore.
The Ravens will take over their own 15, and James Farrier asks the crowd for help.
There's going to be a lot of kids late to school in the morning.
This is
Nobody has
intimidating
left.
environment, Tony.
Yeah. Remember, the last Monday night overtime ended on the very first play of OT. Favre and the Packers in Denver.
This won't.
No, it will not. It's McClain back in the game. Gets just a yard and a half. James Farrier slow out of the pile. The ice tubs will be overflowing with people tomorrow. It is just a hard-hitting, many players banged-up game here tonight.
Steelers' defensive line has been terrific. They only dressed 5 players in the D-line, and they have battled and scratched 60 minutes, and now in the overtime. They've held up pretty darn good.
Great point. Missing 2/3 of their starters. Brett Kiesel, Casey Hampton out tonight. Flacco. Somehow they got rid of Woodley. A flag comes down as he throws downfield for Mason. Incomplete, battling Bryant McFadden. Shot block on the Ravens. Maybe one of those, they're checking, was Woodley being blocked high and then somebody hit him low at the same time?
Personal foul. Chop block. Defense. Penalty is half the distance to the goal. Replay second down.
King's territory did mean offense.
We'll see it right here. One offensive player going low, one offensive player going high. You see McClain going down. You see Grubbs up high. That is a chop block.
McClain left, some space. Polamalu went to cut his legs out as he goes to the 15. And Troy has to scrape himself off of Heinz Field.
That really is a big 7 yards. It makes it a much more manageable third down situation. You know, if you're at 3rd and 17, 3rd and 18, you don't have many plays in the playbook to convert that to a first down. 3rd and 10, much more manageable, kind of opens up the playbook.
Here they come. Flacco got to protect the ball as he's brought down. Lawrence Timmons able to get to him. The 5th sack of the Ravens quarterback tonight.
Mike, you called it at the snap of the ball. Here they come. Dick LeBeau in these situations, you know he is going to bring the heat. And here it comes. Timmons from the edge. McClain goes to cut him, misses him. Timmons comes around and
when Mike Tomlin wants to make a play with special teams, he'll put Santonio Holmes back to receive a punt. He does so here. Sam Cook the kick. Good.